Good morning. It's May the 13th, and today we're going to talk about the value of keeping a trading journal. As you can see here, we're looking at a blog post I did on Steemit 22 days ago, back on April the 20th, where I sold out of many of the coins that I had, and I took some profit on them. And I created this post so that I could go back and take a look and see if I was correct afterwards to have taken profit at this time. There was a video that I made on that day as well, and I'll link to it in the description below this video. And now I want to go over all of these different charts and take a look at how did it turn out compared to what I did. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. I'm going to start off with XEM. So here's where I bought into it, and here's where I sold out. What I want to look at is where did it go after I sold out on April the 20th, and what did I do with my trading in this. So this was great, where I bought in, sold out, and did nothing else because there was nothing else to do. So it's good to follow up on the trading journal to see the before and after to see how that trade turned out. The next on our list will be STR, SIA, and NXT. So let's go look at STR. So this looks like a good, it's a good profit, but it's not that great of a top formation for where I sold out. Let's take a look and see what this turned out like. Okay, overall, not too bad. So I did a regular trade here where I bought here and I sold out part of it there. I also did a margin trade here that was profitable. I bought and I sold really quickly and took my profit rather than waiting. It would have been much more profitable. But again, the April 20th day was pretty good as an approximation as to when to take that profit. Going on to the next one here, let's take a look at SIA Coin, where I bought in and sold out. And SIA Coin I could have held a little longer. Again, there wasn't a great top formation that I sold out of. It was a pretty small time frame top formation. But anywhere along here, it might have been a place to sell out if you were watching for a top formation and worried about it. Prices did go up and they settled back a little bit, and they're looking like they may stage higher from here. And the chart pattern is really similar actually to STR, where we had a surge but not as big here in STR. But the surge timing is pretty similar. That's interesting to note from this time frame as to what may happen next. So the next trade here where I bought in and I sold out for a profit on the April 20th was NXT. And when I look at this chart, it doesn't give me a very strong top formation here. Skipping forward to the current price of NXT, and we can see the entry and exit signal. And again, another similar pattern to what we just saw in the other two markets, except this is receded back a little bit more than we see here for SIA Coin and STR. So all the markets that I'm trading are doing similar moves. Let's see what's next. So we finished NXT, so let's go on to the next ones. We have NXC, MAID, and GameSafe Coin. So on NXC, when I went back and looked at it, I didn't really actually make very much of a profit here at all, because I bought in back here and bag held all the way through this period of time, and then sold on the April 20th like everything else, because I was looking at a short-term view, and we'll see what happened next in this. And even still, it was pretty good to have taken profits at that time, just because that's where the markets were moving. And now they've come back more than the others back to this level here. Maybe a greater opportunity if this makes a good, solid internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. That would be really good. We see the break of the downtrend, the 3-month moving average crossed over and then crossed over again here. So we'll watch for another crossover, but it's getting into whipsaw territory here for this market. Just zoom out a little bit to the 1-year view, and even that moving average crossed and crossed again, providing whipsaw. Back to the 3-month view here, and I'll continue on with the chart to see which is the next ones. Where did I buy in and sell out versus what did the market do afterwards? So we see here in MaidSafe Coin where I bought in and I sold out. So this is a profitable turn in MaidSafe Coin, but I had been holding losing trades in this market for a while. So good to get some back here. And moving over to the MaidSafe Coin chart now, the buy and the sell was still pretty good timing, Although this has shown more strength than the other markets that we've been reviewing in the last little bit here. I still think long term this is great. It's made a much better 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. Really looking pretty good. The next coin here is Game coin. This is the buy signal. Really nice pattern. And the sell signal after a bit of a top. That's more favorable than some of the other looking charts. Let's see what turned out. Okay, and sure enough, it was a good time to have sold out on the Game coin as well. Now we're inside a bigger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. A break above this would be a great confirmation of strength in this market. And back to our list now, we're going to look at Folding Coin, E equals MC squared, GNT. So Folding Coin, you can see the buy and the sell. Very good timing. Let's see what happened afterwards. Okay, we can see here the buy and the sell are actually a little bit different than the last chart, where I went in and got the correct buy time on this. And I sold for a 50% gain. It was a very small trade, but it's the percentage gain that you're watching for and the timing of that trade to grow and grow and grow these coins. So this turned out to be a good trade, again, for the timing of it, watching for when the market was just losing buying power, it seemed. I figured Bitcoin was going to go up much, much higher and these would be driven down, but it's not quite as I predicted. It's just that it was a good time to sell. The next chart was E equals MC squared, another good bottom formation anticipation because it had not broken out yet. This is on the formation of my trade and a little early actually, but turned out well in the buy and the sell. So let's see what happened next. So here's an example of, it was a good anticipation out of this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, a good anticipation selling this top, and it could be time to put that money back in on this. If this is a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on the really long-term view, this is a fantastic looking chart. Let's go on to the next ones that I sold out of. Now we're looking at the chart for GNT with the buy and the sell entry or exit price. And the live version of GNT shows that this one was a mistake where the prices really surged after that, and this was not a top formation that was showing weakness. So I was lucky in anticipation of this bottom formation and not lucky in anticipation of the top formation on this one. I still think this has got room to go up, and I'm holding most of my position, so it's all good. I'll just hold. Here is the buy and the sell on Burst Coin. I'm not happy with this top formation pattern. Let's see how this turned out. As it turned out, more or less, it was pretty good. So maybe there was something in the short-term charts that I was seeing a change in the buying and selling going on there. It turned out to go a little higher and is staging again. So like many of the others, when I go into a longer-term view, this seems to be staging to be going higher, and that may just be my bias looking at the chart. Let's see the rest of them. The next of the sells I did on April the 20th was in BitShares, and it looked to me like Bitcoin was just taking off and that this would be a time where BitShares was going to come back. Let's see. And we can see here that BitShares did top for a while and hesitate, and I may have even sold out here if I hadn't sold out earlier, only to surge again and come back. So many of them that have surged have come back in more or less a similar pattern, and they do appear to be staging. Hopefully they stage to go higher from here. Here's another that I sold out of on April 20th is BCN Coin. And you may know that after my sell here, Bitcoin continued to go and did a huge move up. And I was fortunate enough to be checking the charts at this time, and I sold 10% of a position that I had purchased way back in December. I purchased in at 18 Satoshi, I sold out at 184 Satoshi. I only sold 10% of that holdings, so I completely paid for that entry. 90% of that coin is left. Now, in hindsight, it would have been great to sell it all at that moment. That's 10 times the money in that short amount of time. Keeping these webinars short, we'll be done here soon. This is the April 20th sell on the Digibyte coin. We can see here in Digibyte, I bought and I sold at a good profit. And then markets were looking good, and I FOMO purchased back in again. Fortunately, the market has staged and is looking like it is stronger than Bitcoin. It's diverged from the price of Bitcoin, and I think that there's more going on in Digibyte than others because it is a great technology, and word is getting out about the difference between all of the different cryptocurrencies. Education is flowing around out there. So if we go to the 1 year view, this chart is looking great, really staging and building. And it has the potential, as we've seen, to do some massive moves when the market really starts getting involved with this technology, because it is one of the better out there. And the last one to take a look at here is Dogecoin, where I did a margin trade here, and I don't do many of those, but it turned out to be fantastic. I made 0.69 or 0.72 Bitcoin, probably 0.69 out of this, because I had purchased in a 1 Bitcoin value worth of it. And it seemed to me that the nature of the buying and selling had changed right at this time as Bitcoin was breaking these levels. It seemed to me that Bitcoin was about to moon and that all the alts would take a bit of a suffering at that time. So this is why I sold out so many on April the 20th. I could feel the difference in the buying going on that had been changed over the last week or so of time. It just felt different that day. So here's the Dogecoin chart of what I did. I bought here and I sold here on the margin trade, made some great profit. I took some of that profit and I bought back into Dogecoin here. Then I did another margin trade and I lost a little bit of money on that. And then I took 0.8 Bitcoin and I just plowed it all into. So in review, the value of doing a trading journal is to go back and to learn how well you're trading your trading plan and how well does your trading plan actually work. So that you could see here a few times where I purchased in before my trading plan buy signal actually was in place. So I'm trading on a potential formation instead of waiting for the formation to be confirmed. That's one error. And then in a personal trading method. And then as a systemic error, my entry and exit is a lot based on the exponential moving average crossover in the 3-month view. And some of these markets, we can see that that is too noisy of a signal where it'll cause me to jump in and out of the market more often than I want to. So it may be that I am still, even though I've cut back on my over trading an enormous amount, it may be that I'm still over trading and not trading correctly according to my patterns. I'm being impatient and wanting to make profits when I want them, rather than setting myself up and just waiting for the market to do the work. So in doing the trading journal, I'm counseling myself and I'm changing my thinking so that I have a stronger belief in the longer term view and a stronger belief in setting up a position and leaving the money to work for me, rather than spending all my time watching the charts and trying to make profits in a small time frame. This way, trading does the work for me and I have time to do other things like create these videos. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. I appreciate your audience and I look forward to any questions or suggestions that you have. Cheers and all the best in your cryptocurrency trading.